After educating more than 60,000 students and generating tens of thousands of dollars from online course marketplaces, I can guarantee you that understanding the correct anatomy of a course lesson is a key to use this framework and recreate the same lesson multiple times to make your course bigger in length and better in quality. In this video, we're analyzing the exact anatomy that your course lesson should have, the framework, if you will, of a course lesson that will help you create better lessons, bigger courses, and have more satisfied students. This video is part of a complete course creation masterclass that is designed to take a complete beginner and transform him into an educated course creator for the price of a burger. So welcome to the lesson in which we're going to be analyzing the anatomy of a course lesson, right? It's pretty ironic actually that this lesson analyzes the anatomy of a course lesson and is a course lesson, but you get the point, right? This right here is the, if you will, the diagram of what a course lesson should look like, right? And from the first time you look at it, right, the first thing that you should pretty much, I think that you're thinking right now is that it really looks like the anatomy of a course, right? Because the course has an introductory video, the course has the main part, which are the 10 different lessons, and the course has a conclusion. A lesson of a course is actually it has the same structure as a course. Because at the end of the day, regarding storytelling and when we're teaching something, this is what the human, if you will, mind likes to comprehend. The human mind wants to have an introduction, the human mind wants to have the core theme, the transferring of information, and the human mind wants to have a conclusion in order to be able to absorb the information that you're giving it. Because imagine if a course lesson was just introduction without the main part, or imagine it was just conclusion, or imagine it was just the main part shoved in your face without an introduction of what's going to be happening and without the conclusion of what's going to be happening after this lesson, right? So let me analyze these three parts, right? I think it's pretty self-explanatory. We're going to start with the introduction. So in the introduction of a lesson, you've seen me actually introduce you guys to the lessons, right, throughout this masterclass. So what the introduction is, it's pretty much you, right, pretty much setting the scene of what's going to be happening in this lesson. So, for example, it's usually a headshot, right? So you directly talking to a camera. This is a headshot, this is a talking headshot, in which you go through, hey, welcome to the lesson. In this lesson, we're going to be doing A, B, C, D, right? Very simple, very basic, doesn't need to be sophisticated. You just go through what's going to be happening in this lesson, right? Once you outline what's going to be happening in the lesson, introductory part of the lesson, then we're going to move to the main part of the lesson. Now, the main part is usually a demonstration or a presentation, right? It can also be a headshot if you're very experienced, but it's usually a presentation, right? Or at least a demonstration. Even me, I'm a very experienced course creator. I've created, again, more than 22 different courses, right? But look at me. I am demonstrating something in the whiteboard. It's just that I don't want to do a PowerPoint presentation because I want this to be more genuine. This is why I'm demonstrating this on the whiteboard, right? But the main part is, again, a presentation or a demonstration. What I am doing in most of my courses, right, for the biggest amount of time is that I created PowerPoint presentations, and in these PowerPoint presentations I had a certain amount of slides, 10 to 15 slides, depending on the topic that I'm analyzing, right? If something is theoretical, I love to tackle it with a PowerPoint presentation because I have organized my slides before I start shooting, right? I create this PowerPoint presentation and then I screen record my screen going through the slides. This way, I have a script which is pretty much not word by word scripted, but I have my points in the slides that I want to communicate. I have a visual representation of the points that I want to communicate with my students, so they're also able to watch the slides and download the information, consume the information through a visual representation, compared to just me talking to a camera, right? And also this helped me create bigger lessons that are, though, of high quality. So PowerPoint presentations, having slides as the main part of your lesson is something that I want you to consider. And when we move after this category of the course creation masterclass, we're going to move into the gear. And in the gear, we're going to be talking about different PowerPoint presentation models, different screen recording models, right? Now, if you're not teaching something very theoretical, because again, theoretical stuff are hard to visualize, are not something practical that you can show in your screen. If you're shooting something theoretical, again, PowerPoint is your best shot. If you're teaching something practical, for example, coding, right, or video editing, there's no use of PowerPoint, right? You can use PowerPoint actually presentations on the first lessons of the course if you want to teach theoretical aspects of coding, but when it comes to coding itself, you will record your screen. So again, when you're teaching something practical, the main part of your course will be screen recordings. So again, the main part of the lesson will be screen recording. So you're going to start the lesson with the introduction, in which you will be talking to a camera because you want to engage with your students, you want to show them your face, you want to build your personal brand, and when the introductory part of the video is done, then you move to the main part, which is going to be the screen recording, and finally to the conclusion. The conclusion and the introduction have the exact same role. They're of key importance, both of them. Why? Because in the conclusion, you set a closing to the lesson, right? Again, it's a talking headshot. So you stop the recording, you stop the screen recording, you directly communicate to the camera, and you're like, hey, thank you very much for sticking up until the end of this lesson. In this lesson, we talked about A, B, C, D. And now let's move to the next lesson, in which we're going to be talking about title of the lesson, right? This sets continuity, and continuity is of key importance. One of the biggest mistakes that many of my clients used to do if they already have started creating courses, one of the biggest mistakes that they have done is that they don't add a conclusion to their lessons, and thus their course doesn't have a continuity. But if you add conclusion and introductory parts to your lessons, you will see that your students will be engaged, your students will be eager to learn more, to consume more of your content, to watch more of your lessons. This will, of course, lead to your course being more successful. So please add introductory parts to your videos and add conclusive parts to your videos. I think that up until the end of this point, right, and this, by the way, is the conclusive part of this video, right? Up until this point, we have covered many very important things regarding outlining your course. I think that now it's time to actually outline the course. I'm going to show you how I very easily outline courses using AI, using ChatGPT. And again, I'm not a huge fan of using AI to replace us as instructors, but we can definitely use AI in many different occasions of the course creation process as a tool to help us brainstorm at least courses rather than create courses. So I'm going to show you in the next lesson very basically how you can brainstorm and outline a course using AI, and then we can tweak some stuff by ourselves using our creativity before we talk about gear and how to shoot the course, right? Thank you very much for sticking up until the end of this lesson. If you enjoyed this video, I urge you to click the first link in the description and enroll in the Course Creation Masterclass.